Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to come out of executive session at 8:24 PM and state that no motions and actions were taken in executive session.
So moved.
Motion by Al, second by Karen. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Chair votes aye. Motion passes 5-0. If everybody can pass their executive session packets to the center, please. Give those to Mr. Burt. Thank you, Rory. Okay. Excuse me, item number 18, discussion, take possible action regarding potential hiring of Public Works Director. At this point, I'd like to entertain a motion that the town of Seymour hire Anthony DePrimo to fill its open Director of Public Works position at a salary and benefits package to be determined through negotiations with the first selectman. Motion by Len, second by Stefan. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? The chair votes aye. Motion passes 5-0. Item number 19, discussion, take possible action regarding Giannotti grievance. Again, there is to be no action taken at this point in conference with Warren. I expect to have an update on this situation at our February 2nd meeting. Item number 20, public comment. Attorney Holcomb, excuse me, I apologize, Attorney Holcomb. I didn't mean to say Warren. It's very disrespectful.
People know who he is.
Yes. Item number 20,
We-
public comment. Well, ladies in the back may not. Yes, I said ladies. Is there any public comment? I'll tell you at the end. Is there any public comment? Is there any public comment? Hearing no public comment, we'll move on to item number 21, Selectmen's public comment, and in the leadoff chair, Karen, is no longer you. You're in the two-hole now. So, Stefan, we'll go with you.
All right, thank you. As I'm sure many of you are aware, there was the informational meeting last Thursday about the McGanny Building, as it's being called, downtown. I just want to express that I share the concern of some of the downtown merchants that the parking situation may go from bad to worse. My one thing is that I do hope that the police department will honor, from what I gathered, their word to help traffic move smoothly and hold the construction companies accountable if they are not following the kind of rules that were provided to them, because it's obviously, I don't think I need to say that it's very important to protect what businesses we do have in town, especially downtown, which is kind of the pride of our community, I would say. There was a suggestion to have some sort of shuttle bus or some kind of transportation service to get to downtown, and I think that would be worth looking into, maybe just for, maybe there's 2 days a week or one night a week that, for like 6 hours we'll have a bus running just to, to kind of promote people getting into downtown. I think that would be a good idea regardless of whether or not this construction really hinders downtown. Another point kind of that goes along with this is I think we need to maybe work on the communication to the town residents. This is something I've been pretty passionate about for a while, because I know that this meeting in particular was, originally supposed to be for the downtown merchants to, get an idea of what was going on, but there was no mention of it on any kind of town website or Facebook page, anything like that. So I would suggest maybe making a separate Facebook page that gives people information on meetings, including meetings here and, Board of Finance, all those, and stuff, with the budget, because we're going to have town meetings coming up for that. I think that people would be much more willing to get involved if they had somebody kind of telling them what's coming up and where they can go to air their concerns. And my final point, which is unrelated, is I personally, and upon talking to many, through the past year or so, talking to people, I think we need to really look into opening town hall up for 5 days a week. And it's not only that is not as big a concern for me. It's more if we could look into getting the hours somewhat staggered, because for personal experience, I work every day 7:30 to 6, and town hall's open from 8 to 5:30. So there's literally no time in which I can get to town hall if I have anything to get taken care of. And I know that's not just me. You know, even if you work 9 to 5, but you have an hour commute, you're not going to be able to get to town hall. And I think we need to work on that. Our town hall should be primarily to work for the citizens, and I think we need to make the citizens be able to get there. And that's it for me.
All right, so just to address each of the individual ones, with regards to the police concern, Chief Metzler has already made several requests of Mr. McGanny, including the need for 2 private duty police officers to control flow on this, right in front of the area. We also had an issue today with the fence that was put up. I know Fire Marshal Wedowitz, Chief Cronin, Chief Metzler all looked at it. The fence itself ran in front of the fire hydrant. That was immediately identified by the police and is being addressed. The gate is locked, so that has been taken care of. So, to your point, the police department is staying on top of it. Officer Harkins is doing a very good job so far. The shuttle bus is Community Services Department is already looking into that to see how it can be used, how we can incorporate it with additional service to other residents. One of the things that they're looking at is opening the bus up for use of all seniors across town, not necessarily ones that are just coming to the senior center where seniors could call and use that, so that's something that they're exploring. Just not sure when would be the best times to do that. With regards to communications, I would agree this information was not put out because this information was designed specifically for the downtown merchants. They received a letter as well as a code red call specifically to all them, so all the merchants knew of that. It was not designed for residents. That's why communications were not put out to them.
I understand that, and I think that's fine. I feel like this was kind of something that, as we saw, this place was packed. I feel like there's more than just the merchants that could benefit from an informational meeting like that. Because there's plenty of people who go downtown and shop downtown, and if they're, unaware and they don't get to, hear what the police are going to say about how it's going to be controlled, I think that could be a problem.
I don't disagree with that, but again, this meeting was designed specifically for the merchants, so they would understand.
No, I know, I understand that.
So, but, I think with, the communications in Seymour, I know it is part of the 10-year strategic plan, but I think we are substantially ahead of other communities in this area and where we were just 4 years ago with regards to our communication. We can track any message that we put out on Facebook to see the number of hits that it gets, the use of Code Red. I actually get accused of using Code Red too much, providing too much information. So I think that, our communications are strong, and it's something that we're always looking to improve. And then with regards to the town hall schedule, I sat down 2 weeks ago with the union presidents of the Administrators Union and the Clerks Union to start to discuss that. As you know, previous contracts did not allow the town of Seymour to be open 5 days. There was never any language. Attorney Holcomb and I worked very hard to get that language placed in the contract, so we now have the ability to do so. We are working with the employees to come up with a solution that will benefit the residents as well as maximize the hours that town hall is open, Monday through Friday. With regard to the late hours, we tried 3 years ago to keep town hall open on Thursday nights till late. We had it open for 6 weeks. We did it that way. I asked the department heads to track who came in. We got very little foot traffic coming in at all. That's not to say that it's something we wouldn't look at again, extending the hours, but I think the first focus is going to be the opening of town hall on Fridays, and then from there we do expand out because we have nothing in the contract that would allow employees to work past 5:30. So that's something that we would have to do some bargaining with 2 unions, that being the Clerks Union as well as the Administrators Union. I would expect that by the springtime, late spring, that town hall will be open 5 days a week. So I think that was the 4 questions you had, Stefan. I got them all? Okay.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem. Karen?
I agree with everything that Stefan just said, especially opening town hall 5 days a week. I've talked about that before at previous meetings. I asked the question maybe 2 or 3 months ago, is it a contractual issue? You said, no, it's not.
I don't think I would have ever said that, number one, because I've known it's a contractual obligation all along. And it was part of our negotiating strategy.
My question was, is Town Hall not open on Fridays because it's a contractual issue? And you said
There's no language in the contract that specified how we would move back to 5 days a week.
Okay, so
The contract,
I understand what you're saying.
right,
Okay. The other thing I want to say, and this is a really a personal note, and the other, oh, I'm sorry, there was one other thing I wanted to say. When Thanksgiving fell on Thursday, as it always does,
yep.
Town Hall was closed Friday and Monday,
Town hall is closed Wednesday and Friday.
Wednesday and Friday.
Well, there was a skeleton crew on Friday, or excuse me, on Wednesday, and town hall was closed on Friday.
Well, for our last meeting, when I came down to pick up my agenda, and I came down on Monday like I usually do, although today I came down on Tuesday, Rory said, well, we weren't here last week, so we don't have it.
Rory wasn't there last week. He was out sick that
Oh,
time frame.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not that we weren't here. We were all here.
okay,
Rory was out sick.
all right. Then the other, this is a personal note,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much between me and you.
Okay.
I read with interest.
Well, it's not going to be between you and I anymore. It's not going to be between you and me and everybody else in this room.
I read with interest last week when I got my copy of Voices
Mm-hmm.
that I was referenced as somebody that you call for advice. I have no memory of that ever happening.
That was-
Unless you've changed your name to
No,
Rory.
no. That was, what I had said was I reach out and I have conversations with members. You've come and sat in my office many times, and we've had conversations on different issues. We've talked about things at the ordinance committee. The point I was getting across is these decisions are not just made by me, that we take information in from a lot of different people, and that's how decisions were made. I referenced several people on the board. I just
I
didn't
know you
reference
did,
you.
I know you did.
And that's the point I was trying to make. And, you know, I've also said that when we had talked about the board, I had hoped that and no, not to you, Stephen, but, you know, I'd hoped that this entire board would have stayed together for another election, because I thought we worked very well together. I've said that many times. I've said that to you, because I truly believe that. I think the 7 of us do a very good job. We have different opinions. We have different backgrounds. You know, I think we push each other to do what's in the best interest of the town of Seymour, and that's what I was trying to get across in that article.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now,
Just quickly, the first major storm of the season is approaching, and I'm confident that Public Works will be ready.
as am I.
All right.
As am I.
And I look forward to a community services website for the town at some point in the future.
It's up.
It's up?
It's up.
Is up?
Up and running, fully operational, been so for probably about 6 weeks.
Okay.
8
I
weeks.
want to check it out. Thank you.
You're welcome. Len?
Yeah, I just want to address the potential expansion of open hours for town hall. In addition to that, you know, we've talked about this a few times in the past. I know that there were contractual obligations we had to rectify before we could actually do it, which has since been done over the last, I believe, 2 months, sometime in the past 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's good for us to explore that opportunity and what it will actually mean for the residents. I do think it makes sense for us to try to expand service as much as possible. In that vein, I think it might make sense if we're going to take a look at it, to try to take a look at over the next few months, if possible, when people actually come to visit. You know, if we open this, mine's off. If we open up for an additional couple hours after hours, I know you had indicated that we've done that a few years back. I think I might have been one of the few people that came in because I was a title searcher at the time to advantage, but there was pretty much nobody else in here.
Mhm.
So it does make sense for us to potentially try to keep track of when people actually come in and what business they're looking to do. You know, if people are coming in to register our voter's office at different times than when they come into the tax collector's office, I think it makes sense for us to try to note that if possible. In addition to that, I think more importantly, we should try to explore additional
Well,
e-based
that's,
government.
yeah.
which I've taken advantage of myself over the last several years. We now can pay our taxes online. I don't have to come down and try to stay in line when it gets busy. Things like that are becoming more and more valuable. More and more people, in addition to senior citizens, are taking advantage of that. We obviously can't close down in-person services for everyone, nor should we, but I think it does make sense for us to take a look at expanding those opportunities, even before changing our hours at
Mhm.
town hall, in my opinion, because I think it's more important, or becoming more and more important every year for us to offer those services. So I think that's something we should take a look at. I think that, we're doing it the right way, and, I'd like to continue to look at the more opportunities as they come along, and obviously identify the issues that, as we have in the past, year or two, and rectify those before we can make any change.
You know, and along those lines, over the last couple of years, we have expanded, excuse me, our e-services platform. You can now pay taxes online, which we're aware of. Through the website, residents have the ability to have direct communication with me 24 hours a day. They can put complaints in, issues, not only with me, but with all department heads. Everything is routed and tracked. Rory's working on a project with the first selectman's office and the building inspector's office for a digital back office. That's certainly going to help. And the new website for the community services now allows folks to register their kids for programs right from home. So no longer do they have to come in. So we're taking those steps, because I agree that is just as important, because for a lot of people, they're busy, and when they do their things is when they finally sit down at night. It may be 8 or 9 o'clock at night when they finally sit down. They need to have access to services that can benefit them and their family, but at the same time, we also need to be aware of the professionals that use our, that use town hall for services, attorneys, accountants, surveyors, things like that, that need to have actual physical access to the building. So I think a combination of the two would be best suited, but I think that's something I can ask department heads to start taking a look at as trending, as to when people are coming in, what times of the day, what day of the week. I think that's something that we can certainly do, and I'll ask Rory to send a little note out tomorrow to department heads to start taking just some informal numbers down. Okay. So, is that all? Thank you, Lynn. Mr. Paterno, anything from your end?
I have nothing.
With that,
I make a motion to
Second.
wow, I was gonna give it to you.
I was gonna
I was gonna
take
put it on the
too.
tee for you. A motion made by, a theft by Len, second by Karen. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, chair votes aye, motion passes 5-0. Mark the meeting closed at 8:42 PM.